Hi guys, this is Shayna from YumiYarns.com, and I'm finally back with our Clue 3 walkthrough. Sorry about that. I had some dental work done and have had super bad migraines ever since. So I had to take a little bit of break away from screens, but we're doing good now, so we're back to our mystery knit along and Clue 3, which is actually here on my YouTube channel if you haven't collected it already. You can view my channel page and it's still up on there so you can find the clue. And that's one we're going to work through today. If you don't have the pattern, this is the Worldwide Knit in Public Mystery Knit Along shawl that we're working on today. I've got it linked in the description, and I'll put a little card up in the top here letting you know where you can find it and more information about it if you want to join in. It's never too late to jump in. It's a fun project, and even once the mystery is revealed, you can still jump in and knit it. It's a fun pattern and a very wearable shawl. So today we're going to jump right into our third clue. I've worked up to where we're going to start it in the pattern, and following our instructions, we're going to use our contrast color, and I'm just going to bring it to the front because we're slipping this first stitch with the yarn in front. And then I've got my handy dandy little stitch markers here, and we're going to place a marker right there, and then we're going to bring the yarn to the wrong side between the needles like I've already done here. And now we're going to knit front and back into this stitch. Oops. So knit front and back. So you're basically increasing one stitch by knitting the same stitch twice. And then we're going to place another marker. If I can get it on there. There we go. And now we're going to work row 1 of this clue. The way the pattern's written, you can actually knit any clue at any point. So if you like one clue and just want to do that same stitch pattern through the whole thing in this part, you definitely can. It's just kind of a fun choose your own adventure type project that way. But for this particular one, we are going to work for row 1, it's knit 1, yarn over, and then a central double decrease, which is going to be, we're going to act like we're knitting these 2 stitches together, but we're just going to slip them off onto our right needle. And then we're going to knit this 3rd stitch, and then we're going to take those 2 stitches that we slipped and bring them off the needle over that stitch that we just knit. And now you have 2 stitches that you decreased with the stitch in the middle going straight up. So it's central and then a double decrease. And then we're going to do another yarn over, and now we just repeat that across. So knit 1, yarn over, central double decrease, which is the slip 2 as if you're knitting them together, knit 1, and then slip those 2 stitches back over and off, yarn over, knit 1, and we'll just keep repeating this across all of our stitches until we get, oops, should pay attention, until we get across to, let's see, basically as many times as we can fit a full repeat across. And then I will meet you at that end and we'll go from there. All right, so I've gotten to the end of where I can continue working. I do have 4 stitches, and that's how many stitches you need for one repeat, but I want to save some edge stitches, so I'm stopping here with my pattern repeats. And you'll see it ends on a yarn over. I'm going to put my marker there, and then I'm just going to knit to the end. And if you have more or less stitches at this point than I do, it is okay. This is a pretty forgiving pattern. Oops. And I did it intentionally that way. There we go. Because when you're knitting and talking with friends and carrying your project around and everything, stuff happens. You get off a stitch here and there. And this way it's very flexible. So if you're off 1 or 2 stitches, don't worry. Nobody's going to notice. It'll fit into the pattern just fine. You can just work with where you're at and go from there. So we finished that first row. Now we're going to work on our second row. So we're going to turn our work and we're going to slip this first stitch purlwise, and then we're going to knit front and back into this stitch, and now we're going to knit to our marker. So there's our marker. We're just going to slip our marker. Now we're going to work row 2 of this clue, which this clue, all it is purling. So we're just going to purl all the way across till we get to our next marker. So I'm going to work on this and I will meet you on the other side. All right, we have purled across to our marker. So now we are just going to slip the marker, and then we're going to knit these 2 stitches. We're going to slip this marker, and we are back to where we began our row, and I'm actually just going to tie these together here. Might do one more knot just so that it doesn't come out while I'm working. You'll notice I've got the stitch that's connected to this tail still on the needle. That way it doesn't get too tight. If it's on the cord, it can get really tight and hard to work, whereas this keeps it about the right size. So now we've got our marker slipped, and just quick looking to make sure. All right, so now we're going to knit these 2 together. So we've got our last stitch from our new section and then 1 stitch from the previous wedge. And now we're going to turn our work and we will slip this stitch, the yarn held in front, and I'm bringing the yarn to the back between the needles. And you can slip the stitch with the yarn held in back too. Just be consistent because you will see a difference in your join here. You'll be able to tell right here. You'll be able to see a difference if you change how you're holding your yarn when you slip your stitches. So just keep that in mind. But we're going to start on our row 3 now. So that was the beginning. We slipped our stitch, we brought our yarn to the back, we slipped the first marker, and now we're going to knit front and back to get our increase in. Oops. These needles are very sharp and I keep splitting my yarn. There we go. And then we're going to knit to the marker, slip our marker, and now we're going to follow row 3 of our pattern. So for clue 3, that is a knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1. So knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1. And we're just going to repeat that across to the next marker, and I will meet you on the other side. All right, and I am at my mark. marker. So I'm just going to slip the marker, and then we're just going to knit to the end. So like I said before, your amount of stitches at this point might differ from mine, and that is okay. Like I said, I kind of wrote this intentionally to be flexible. That way you're not trying to frog anything while you're talking with your friends. So now we're going to be on row 4. So we're going to slip the first stitch. You'll notice I always slip purlwise. It gives you a little bit cleaner edge. And then we're going to do our knit front and back increase and knit across to our marker, and then we're actually going to remove our marker, and now we're going to work row 4 of our pattern, which for clue 3 is just purling. So I'm going to purl across, and I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, so I've made it to my other marker, and I'm actually just going to remove that one as well, and then we're just going to knit these 3 stitches. And you can either remove this marker or leave it in. It will stay kind of in the same place as you go along. I'm just going to leave it in and slip that one, knit these 2 together, and you can see a little bit more clearly. Here's our new wedge, here's our old wedge. We're just going to join them together by doing a knit 2 together, and that is the end of row 4. And then we'll just go back and work a row 1, same way we did before. You just slip, slip, and then we'll start in on our patterning again. But I hope you guys are enjoying your shawls. I hope you're still having fun with it. I am really sorry that I had to take a break for a little bit there, but hopefully you were okay without me for a little while. And we'll just keep working along and have our beautiful shawls done shortly. I hope you have a great day and happy knitting. Bye.